Louise, why don't we start with you and tell me a little bit about how you're the writer, director, star, producer of the film. Talk a little bit about the writing process and coming up with this idea for the film, and sort of how it started out.
Well, first off, Eric, I'd like to say that I stand in unity with the rest of my comrades in the Screen Actors Guild and AFTRA in this strike. So I'd like to try and avoid any questions as they pertain to specifically the performance as an actress. I really do believe in this strike, and I want actors to be receiving their fair and timely payments and better residuals. So I just wanted to start off by saying
absolutely.
that. But any questions related to producing and directing and writing, I'm delighted to answer. So let me answer your question. This film is it has a storied history. I was offered the role back in 2013, and I actually was filming it exactly 10 years ago in Milwaukee opposite Sam Page, and then I loved the script. I thought it was so charming, but this sort of predated a lot of the social media and dating apps, and but I really identified with what this story was about, and we had a great time filming it. And then once the filmmakers were in the edit, we just had the feeling that the story wasn't sort of connecting the way that we'd all intended. And so the filmmakers sort of moved on to do other things. And then I remained very focused on what I believed was great potential in this story. So with the original writer-director's blessing, I took it upon myself to sort of modernize the script, I suppose, and bring it into the very present day, which is so much about the Tinder and the Bumble and the online dating world, which can be fraught with peril, as everybody knows. So we sort of added a lot of narration and added about, I'd say, would you say about 50% of this?
At least
we added 50% to the screenplay and reshot quite a bit of it, both in Washington, D.C. and Los Angeles and all over the place. I'm very proud to say I was able to pull off looking sort of the same age as I was when
I didn't even realize that, so it's pretty interesting.
And so we just had an absolute blast, and we shot the pickups very, very quickly and had a great time doing it. So I'm still in touch with the original filmmakers, and actually the original producer is still a producer on this version of the film. So it takes a lot of different takes a village, and we've had DPs in 3 different cities, and we've been editing in different edit facilities, and it's been sort of all over the place. But I'm delighted to finally be presenting this wonderful little film to the world.
Yeah, I guess so. For both of you, talk a little bit about, maybe particular things that you wanted to update in the script that you felt sort of spoke to this moment and spoke to something that's going on today that were things for you that you wanted to address when you were working on the script.
Well, the original screenplay was about a woman who gets sort of jilted at the aisle. It's the opening of the film, and she realizes that her fiance slept with her sister, and he decides that the perfect moment to tell her is on their wedding altar. So the film takes off very quickly with her in her bride's dress running through the streets of Milwaukee, in this floating white taffeta like a big cream pie. And in the original screenplay, she was dating a lot of guys to try and sort of understand men's motivations and why men would cheat. And when we revisited the screenplay 5 to 6 years later, we said, hold on, this shouldn't just be about a girl who's sort of just dating. This should be about a girl who's seeking revenge, and she's finding hundreds of guys on all of these different dating apps, because that's very much today's world. And So that was really the key difference, was it was a girl that was just dating guys, and we decided to flip it and make it really about social media, likes, follows, trolls, haters, lovers, hashtags, all of that, and really bring it into the contemporary world of online dating.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about that idea of the female revenge fantasy, and it's a fun one. And talk a little bit about kind of some of the things that you're doing in the script that, you know, without giving it too much away, that sort of plays that up and plays into that kind of fun element to the film.
Well, we decided on the title chick flick, by the way, because I mean, it's a bit tongue in cheek and it's very self-aware. This is a movie that really is a sort of girl anthem. And she has a lot, this character has a lot of fun, and we had a lot of fun as the filmmakers, really playing in and digging at men on the whole. A lot of generalizations, stereotypes, and but it's sort of, you know, in today's world, there's the red flag, which is the new sort of trending thing that everybody talks about, like how to spot a red flag. And
or shag.
Red flag or shag. Yeah. So, you know,
which is really the fun of it, right?
It is.
That's kind of like the fun of chick flick. It's like red flag or shag.
Yeah. So men get a bit of a beating, unfortunately, in this film, but it's all in good fun, and it's all good natured, and it's all very light and fun.
And it wraps up nicely.
It does. It wraps up nicely, and there's a strong arc in the story where initially she's wounded and she goes out for revenge, and yes, she gets her revenge. She definitely gets her revenge. And then, but at the end of the film, there's definitely a moral of the story, and in the denouement, you see that she's learned that perhaps all of her initial theories about men may not be true.
Interesting. So talk a little bit about the directing of the film, and was there a scene for you that was either the most difficult or the most enjoyable to direct?
So I ended up directing it sort of by accident, because we had rewritten the script, and Kristen said to me, "Why don't you just direct all the pickups?" And I said, "I'm not a director." She said, "Sure you are. You're a natural, just go for it." So I really ended up directing it just because, well, Kristen believed in me, I suppose. I can't.
This was before Me Madness.
This was before Me Madness. So I have to say that I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Kristen thought I could pull off the directing. Thank you for your belief in me.
And you did.
And then
it led to Me Madness.
And then it led to Me Madness, which I then had the courage to direct, because I sort of directed chick flick.
She got bit by the directing.
I did get bit by the directing bug. I can't actually say that there was any particular. Do you remember any really challenging? I mean, I'd say on the original shoot, some of that was pretty challenging, because there were very, very long hours.
And also, I think working with some actors that were not professionally trained actors, so just kind of utilizing some more natural people that hadn't had acting experience, that was challenging, but you did a good job.
It was challenging, but it was also good fun, because when you're working with non-actors who are actually talented and have good improv skills, it makes it really good fun. The original shoot was quite grueling. We were working long hours because it was a small film, and we were trying to shoot it in, I think it was a 2-week period in Milwaukee. But other than the long hours, I mean, every movie you're doing long hours. But I can say that every single scene that we shot in recent years has been nothing but hilarious. I mean, we were doing, on one day, I think we did 11 setups in one afternoon.
Yeah, you move pretty fast. and honestly, like, so for a chick flick, she actually dressed a lot of the scenes yourself. Like, you wore many hats. You were doing wardrobe stuff, you were doing production design, you were lighting. I remember the scene where you're in bed eating potato chips. Like, that was just us in a dark room with the camera.
I know, it was really bare bones, and we just had a ton of fun doing it. We flew back to DC with Ray Peschke, who was also the DP on Me Madness, and he offered to help with a few of the pickups. So that was great fun. It was just it was because the subject matter is so silly and there was so much improv involved. It was just fun, you know, and especially when you're in the producer director chair, you have less pressure as an actor because you're calling sort of basically all the shots. So it was just fun. I mean, I wish we could shoot it all over again.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun.
It was really had a good attitude, because a lot of the men, you know, bad scoundrels, cheaters, sort of men that were only out for sex, or, you know, weirdos or creeps that you meet online, or some of the guys were, you know, playing married characters that were still online dating even though they were married. And I'd say that all of the men had a really fun, hilarious attitude toward playing these horrible men, and they took it in their stride and they had so much fun with it.
Yeah. So what do you ultimately, in your role as director and writer, what do you hope that, you know, the audience walking out of the theater feels?
Well, they won't be walking out of the theater, they'll be watching it in their
Sorry, after they finish the movie.
You know, you don't walk into this expecting Dostoevsky, you know, it's Mills and Boon. You're not looking for an artistic film. This is popcorn, girls' night, guys' night, whatever. If you're just looking for some light entertainment that's silly and playful, you don't want to take it too seriously. This is intended to just be popcorn, chocolate, fun. Pour a glass of wine, pour a glass of apple juice, and just enjoy yourself and enjoy the laughs, because I think there's quite a few of them.
That's great. Yeah, no, I got to watch it and really enjoyed it. So finally, just what else do you have coming up that we can expect from you next?
Well, gosh, well, this is coming out in December. So we're going to be doing a lot of prep for the marketing and press and so on and so forth. And next up, we have
so we have Frontier, which is
an 1880s sort of survival movie, a bit like a sort of Female Revenant kind of.
Yeah, it's one woman versus the wilderness.
Yeah, so that's going to shoot in, I'm not directing that, there's a different, I'm going to be playing the role probably in Kentucky in the spring. And Kristen and I co-wrote a very fun action flick, which we sort of compared to Die Hard in the Desert. And it's just non-stop fighting action, lots of fight sequences, men, women, all sorts of talented stunt actors. So after the strike is over, we're very excited to shoot that. And
yeah, and then you have Dead Man's Hand that was just out, and then you also have Out of Hand coming out as well.
Oh, but yeah, Out of Hand is coming out. That was directed by Brian Skiba. I believe that'll be coming out in 2023. So there's lots going on. I really do hope that the strike resolves soon so that everybody can get back to work. And I really hope that the streamers and all the studios come around and see the light and cooperate with what SAG is asking for, because I don't think it's unreasonable. I think it's more than reasonable.
Thanks for watching the You Interview channel. With over 3,000 original celebrity videos, we have one of the largest collections of celebrity interviews anywhere. So remember to like and comment on our videos and subscribe to the channel. If you want to get more involved, you can become a member of the channel. Membership has its perks. You can see exclusive celebrity videos and get the opportunity to ask our celebrity guests questions. We can't wait to hear from you.